Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have audio? Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is Wednesday, the third day of May. So happy Wednesday, everybody. Boy, today is a tough act to follow after we've had 2 days of Daryl being in the room and dispensing all kinds of wonderful tidbits. If you missed those, if you weren't here, they were recorded, and I think Kelly just posted them. Something happened to a bunch of videos. They lost them, and they're retrieving them somehow. But anytime you are looking for a video, I can tell you the very best way to access those videos is to go into YouTube and subscribe to Apex Investing, because you'll get an email every time with the link every time one is uploaded. And you can take the ones that you want to review and go over and over, and you can keep those in a little separate file on your computer so you can access them even easier than that. But sometimes it's easier with the use of the notification on email than it is trying to search for those things, the exact specific one you want in the forum. So anyway, we've had kind of a mixed bag this morning. This has really been a choppy, chop. There have been some trades on NQ and YM. And if anybody trades the ES for the Nadex traders, usually there's a lot of contracts available on the ES. But anyway, they've all been kind of going along in their same old. They seem to be pretty much together. The biggie that's coming up here at 2 p.m. is the FOMAC, and they will announce a Fed funds rate change or hold or whatever it is they're going to do with the overnight interest rates. So if you notice, bonds have been in a pretty considerable chop. Bonds had a couple of really nice trades this morning right off of settlement and then back to settlement. Dennis, you get the recordings by going to the forum and looking for just go to the search. The search window is the best way. I think this one yesterday that Jason had a really nice morning because he took some of the advice that Daryl gave on trading spreads and said it just made all the difference in the world. So it's a good idea, yeah. Traders helping traders. Go to the forum, click on the webinars tab, and then THT, Traders Helping Traders. So Daryl's a regular fount of information and tidbits, believe me. It's difficult to absorb all of them all at once. So saving your own personal library of the ones you want to review and go back and till it really sinks in is probably worth the exercise. We've got the VIX. I saw it once. It was over 11. I thought, wow. But it's trading 1081 right now, and it just can't get very excited about anything. I also wanted to point out, and it was, I believe it was Monday, but the same is in effect today. If you have been watching gold, and especially for Nadex traders, the big clue on Monday that gold was going down and going down hard was the Australian dollar. It just literally fell out of bed. and it never weakened. Just kept on and on and on, and today it's doing the same thing. Yesterday it kind of took a little breath and chopped around a little bit, but today it's doing the same thing. If you are looking for a market to use as a bit of a barometer for another market, those two are gold and the Aussie dollar are pretty much on the same page. And so today we have got we got through inventory, crude oil inventory. It was the number is not very exciting. Typically in May, the price of crude oil starts to rise because the demand starts to rise. We still are in contango, so that's for gold. I mean, for crude oil traders, that's usually a pretty good sign that it's at least healthy. It's when that thing goes the opposite way and the back months are going up. Well, the back month's price is going down. It does not forebode well for the energy sector. So I kind of check those from time to time. You want crude oil to be in an uphill going with the different contracts because they roll every month. So in addition to FOMAC this afternoon at 2 o'clock, and who knows what they'll do, but Mrs. Yellen has been sending signals that despite some of these economic numbers that have been coming out, they are going to hold to their overall plan. So, yeah, Dennis, the gold miners, the small producers, there's quite a few of them in Australia that are all publicly traded. And so the price of gold is pretty much tied to the Australian dollar. And they kind of move along that it's considered the currency for gold. And the other, with crude oil, if you like to watch that and are trying to get an idea, it's a good idea to pay attention to Canadian dollar because crude oil is a big sector in Canada. They don't produce as much as the U.S., but it is a larger percentage of their economy. So anyway, and the yen has done exactly nothing because today's a bank holiday in Japan. But anyway, we will have this. If you have not been with us through FOMAC, if you're new to the whole idea of this, I can tell you that there are times when that thing comes out, and it's usually going to be about 2 or 3 minutes before 2, and these indices, bonds, gold, and the US dollar just go berserk. So the best advice, unless you are a very experienced trader and you have traded FOMAC before, either don't trade or stay in demo because it can just it can ruin your whole day and or your whole week. So be really careful. And then tomorrow we have lots of things coming. In the morning, real early in the morning for the Breakfast Club crowd, starting about 3 o'clock in the morning, there's all kinds of numbers releases from Europe. At 8:30 in the morning, we have a bunch of stuff. The Canadian trade balance will be out at 8:30 tomorrow, as well as U.S. unemployment claims and our own trade balance and lots of things. So, and it's the preliminary non-farm productivity. These things are being watched really closely with this change of administration in the U.S. And then at noon tomorrow, well, it's actually 12:30 tomorrow, the Mr. Draghi, the he's the president of the Central Bank of Europe, is going to be speaking, and sometimes that can cause the euro to move, which will cause the U.S. dollar to move also. So these are just things to be aware of, and it's always a good idea to have the daily trades where you can, the daily news where you can access it really easily. So you've got some markers on times that you don't want to be jumping into a trade right in front of a freight train. And, one other thing. I learned something today. You know, if you're not careful, you learn something, and I wasn't very careful. So I think I've shown you how to get the price levels on your, for the alarms on your chart. So I'm going to show you something else. My problem is that you cannot adjust those price levels with the, you can't, if you put them on different markets, you still get a doorbell. And so pretty soon you've got, 3 or 4 doorbells going, and you can't figure out which markets you're supposed to be looking at. So it gets a little frustrating, I guess. I'm hoping that we can get those things changed so where at least we have we can get into the indicators and make a doorbell sound for one market and I don't know, a bell or a chime or something for another one. So you're not in such a running around looking for what hit my price, what hit my price. So what I learned from this today is the price levels first are in the indicators. So you can go into indicators and you can find, let's see, it's down here under P for price level, not the price level tool, the price alert. So double click that or click on it and add new. You will have to go to the number. This is very important. If you're trading crude oil, 1.0 is not even going to be on your chart. So make this, for whatever market you're putting this on, make this some number that will get these on your chart. So what you do is, let's put 4860 on here. It can be any number. Don't worry about the number. Just get it on there because you can drag and drop them where you want them. And let's get another one here. And we'll put this one down below so we can move it where we want it, and we'll make this one 4680. 4680. Okay, and then we tell it okay. And you can change the color. Yeah, foghorn. Check. That's a great idea. Get your attention anyway. So then you can take these, and you can make them of whatever color and dots and dashes and whatever you want to. But let's just say what you want is to be alerted if this breaks this big magnet right here. So go a couple ticks above the big magnet, and then you want to be alerted if it breaks the low of the day. So we move this thing up here. So now we've got these, and you might want to put it a tick or two, one inside or outside, whatever it is that suits your trading style. Then Lori showed me this brilliant thing. You go to File on your control, New, and right at the top, Alerts. And you get this box. And I don't know how it knows this, but it puts whatever you have on here. And when the doorbell sounds, I've got this thing jammed up like this, real close up here. It puts a yellow band and it will tell you, I keep it right dead center in front, all squished up like this, it will tell you what market has sounded that alarm. So you can just stick it somewhere. If you want it, if you need to put it always on top of another chart, I believe you can go in here. No, it doesn't have, yeah, always on top. You can put always on top, click that, and it'll stay on top so it doesn't get behind your charts and then you can't find it. But that's a very cool thing because I love the doorbell thing, but I don't like, you know, where, what? So hopefully that'll help. Yeah, you can pin it too. You can use that pin thing, stick it wherever you want it. So hopefully that helps. And I really, when Daryl comes in, there is so much valuable information that just starts coming at, he knows only one speed, that's warp speed with his hair on fire. So there is so much stuff that starts coming at you really, really fast. I know he doesn't realize it, but he's literally feeding it to you with a fire hose. So it's really helpful to be able to go back over those videos and take them, 15, 20 minutes at a time or whatever your brain can handle. Mine can handle 20 minutes, and after that I have to stop and let it absorb and sink in. So if you are experiencing overload from all that, uh, hang on to those uh, recordings because those are the information is really, really valuable. Anyway.